Definitely not the starters. You're on the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Welcome in. It is the End of the Bench. I'm Rob Breaux alongside David Collier, Lucas White. We are in the First United Bank studio. You can call in on the Visual Edge IT hotline, 806-771-0973, or you can hit us up on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Find us on the apps, brought to you by Happy State Bank, on the website, doubleTSportsNetwork.com, or on YouTube, youtube.com/doubleTSportsNetwork. You can also find us on the television, whether it's the apps you might have on your smart TV or the Double T Sports Network. Fox 34 News Now channel. Let's go back to the YouTube again.
Yeah.
All right. What a weekend.
Man.
What a weekend. And from really weak.
Yeah, I was about
from
to say.
From start to finish.
Yeah, to say, just call it a weekend. It was, I think you had a whole week built into Saturday alone.
For real. I mean, it was. What time did you get around? I mean, were you up there like 5?
I woke up at 5. I was there at 6 a.m.
Okay. I pulled around on University around 7 a.m.
Yeah.
And obviously the students started lining up 10 p.m. on Friday night for the game. The line was from the student gate, which is that southeast corner, down to the practice facility, up the practice facility, down the practice field, up the practice field. I mean, we were around the bend.
Yeah. So you almost
Saturday morning.
almost
like
started going around the indoor.
Full sidewalk deep.
Yeah.
It just.
I didn't even see that.
They were like in the street.
I was on the other side of the stadium and the masses of game day people.
Insane. And not even to mention how complimentary the game day guys were of the crowd, the audience. Just everyone was there. From about 7 a.m., 6 a.m., the Raider Alley was full. The DJ Pauly D set was crowded.
I did not see that until late after I got home on Saturday. And I was impressed at the crowd that was there. I guess there were people that were like, you know what? I'm not even going to try with the other thing. I'm going to go watch DJ Pauly D. And I was shocked at the size of that crowd.
Yeah, I had some guys stop by, and I was like, oh, were y'all over at Raider Alley? And they were like, yeah. I was like, oh, is it not full? And they were like, no, it's packed.
Yeah.
How many people do you think were in the Jones metro area on Saturday? Because there were 60,205 or whatever in the stadium, plus the media, plus everyone working. What, 62,000 maybe?
Yeah.
There's a ton of people there, concession stands and otherwise.
Oh, there were a lot more people on the sidelines. I can verify that. My goodness.
There might have been 1,000 recruits there.
Yeah.
It was packed. And then, who all just came to game day?
Yeah, there was
or tailgate.
Oh, I'm sure there was a good chunk that just went to go experience that.
I mean, do you think there were 80,000 people around? Is that too many?
That might be that might be a little much. I would imagine a good
Maybe
chunk
70?
of them. Yeah, I would go 70. I wouldn't have a problem with 70, counting all of the people that are working.
Yeah.
Those people that worked game day, by the way, and I'm not talking about the ones that travel, like the sure. yellow coat, blue coat people. Some of those people, they worked like overnight, just basically sitting there and guarding the set.
Yeah.
So that all of those people, and there were plenty of those, making sure nobody got in a back gate or anything like that. Yeah, 70,000 would have been definitely plausible.
We've had Fox Noon kickoff here a time or two in the last however many years. And certainly Fox comes here quite a bit. You get ESPN broadcasts. Nothing compares to that game day set or the ABC production rig.
Yeah.
I mean, it was beyond what anything else is doing. Yesterday, I rewatched Game Day because obviously I'm at Optimum Game Day Live. I couldn't watch it for reals. I tuned into Pat McAfee making picks in the press box. It was awesome. It was awesome. And you were
I was feet away from it.
You were ribbing me the next day about, now we like Game Day.
Hey.
I just want to clarify. Mm-hmm. The only thing I've ever disliked about Game Day is that it doesn't showcase moments like that often. Because I think these programs that get it all the time are comfortable with it. And it was a big deal here in Lubbock. And it's going to be a big deal in Pittsburgh. By the way, I started seeing SEC comments last night, mad at Game Day for not coming back to the SEC. Because this is week 3. Bullying works, people. We bullied College Game Day into going around the country a little bit.
And that lends right to what I'm about to say. It's very much like Twitter, Twitter bullying. It's very much like Twitter. You can be as mean as possible to somebody on Twitter, but when they come and they're standing in front of your face, oh, I love your work. I watch you all the time. You're my favorite. That type of thing. And I get it. I trust me. I understand the frustration. I'm only half joking here, but I do want to realize a lot of people hated Game Day until they came here and said nice things about them.
But I don't think they hated Game Day. I think they hated that Game Day only went to SEC games.
Yeah.
I think there's a distinction there. But still, yes, there was a lot of negative Game Day comments and a lot of positive ones this weekend.
Well, and I will say this. Look, I know part of their job is to pump up where they're at, but they had plenty of reasons to say all of that stuff.
Yes.
I don't know what the pre-week rituals are at other schools, but I don't know that they go to that extent when they know Game Day's coming. Raiderville, everything involved.
I do also just want to say to Dowdy and Botros and Giovanetti and whoever else, Mike Ryan, incredible job.
Yeah.
Incredible job to facilitate Raiderville. And that's not just like, hey, these kids are out there, let's just let them be. No, that was organized the entire time. And inside the stadium, you have Oregon and Texas and Oklahoma that are always big games coming to Lubbock over the last few years. I thought Colorado was a true sellout last year, but just it looked easy, and I know it wasn't.
Oh, no, there was nothing easy about everything they did.
I mean, Matt Dowdy in the press box was just like relieved that the game had started.
Yeah. I think we were all like that.
Oh, yeah. All right, let's talk more about this BYU game when we come back. We'll also have some headlines to start the show. 100.7 The Score, it's the end of the bench.
Definitely not the starters. You're on the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
I was talking about how Zach Brown looked jacked, and I got 2 comments. How beefy and sinewy are his quads, Rob? And probably has some thick quads, too.
You knew that was coming.
South Texas Ambassador Preston says, if we take care of business the rest of the way, you could be hosting Texas in Lubbock and then maybe go on to play A&M in Georgia. Just build the statue now if Joey McGuire gets us there and wins those games. Resident Aggie on the song says, anything that bad has to be Collier.
That was not mine. Thank you very much. I
like that kind of music.
I maintain that I will have the most liked song.
Probably so. Bullfighter says probably not. His section says, and that type of music is what's wrong with the world today. We're fitting a theme, people.
It's a theme.
And the name of that song, if you can find it, is The Theme. So there's your hint for today.
Man, why don't you give the theme in the first 45 minutes?
I just if somebody wants to go find it, they can. We'll get back to the BYU Texas Tech game on the other side of this segment. I do think that we need to specifically talk about the game. There was a lot of positives, but I think now that we're 48 hours away, we can talk about some things that need to clean up if you do want to beat Texas A&M and Texas in the playoffs. If you do want to cash in on a Big 12 championship, if you do want to finish strong, there's a couple of things that need to be course corrected. But first, let's check on the calendar.
Your daily look at what's happening in the world of sports, birthdays, and holidays. Let's check the calendar.
It is the Marine Corps' birthday. Happy birthday to the Marine Corps. Thank you for your service. It's National Vanilla Cupcake Day. If there's a selection of cupcakes in front of you, which cupcake flavor are you grabbing? Vanilla?
Yeah.
Are you vanilla or chocolate in those little boxes, Lucas?
I'd actually go with neither. I like red velvet.
Which is just red chocolate.
Yeah.
I also prefer red velvet, but I would go vanilla. White cake. It's Sesame Street Day. We tuning in for Miley Cyrus tonight.
Oh, is it tonight?
Is she on Sesame Street tonight?
That is tonight. You know what year Sesame Street, since it's in what year it debuted? On the National Education Television?
19...
I know Bullfighter clearly knows this as a fan of Sesame Street.
Hold on. I think it's earlier than you think. 1979.
Earlier than you think.
1974.
Still earlier.
Really?
Yeah.
Sesame Street?
Sesame Street, yes. The one that's having a day
With the
today.
Muppets?
Big Bird.
Well, they're not Muppets on that show, but the puppets?
Yes. Yeah,
Elmo
Big Bird.
and them?
Yeah. Elmo wasn't around then, but Big Bird certainly was, and Snuffleupagus and Oscar the Grouch.
Okay, what year?
1969.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. So I guess the Muppets came about second.
I would imagine so, yes.
Any birthdays, Lucas?
Bullfighter would know, though.
I have a long list of birthdays, so I'll just kind of breeze by most of them. Tracy Morgan celebrating his 57th birthday today. Then we have Diplo turning 47. Miranda Lambert turning 42.
Coming to Lubbock.
Yep, she's with George Strait, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Josh Peck turning 39. Sinbad turning 69. Then we have Teddy Bridgewater turning 33. Drew Lock, 29. Zach Ertz, 35. Scottie Pippen Jr., 25. Kendrick Perkins, 41. Mike McCarthy, 62. Les Miles, 72. And Jamie Dixon, 60.
Happy birthday to Jamie Dixon, am I right?
I hope he's the TCU basketball coach for a long time.
This is alma mater, did you know that?
Except he stops beating Texas Tech.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, I've heard that. It is your turn.
Very light on this day in history sports-wise. I'm sure there were plenty of national ones, but we'll just go with the 3 Texas Tech-related ones. How about that? 1973, Larry Isaac scores 2 touchdowns, one for 3 yards and one for 52 yards to help number 12 Texas Tech rally from 10 points down to beat TCU 24-10. Again, that was in 1973. Jump all the way ahead to 2012. Texas Tech soccer shuts out North Texas 2-0 in its first NCAA postseason match in school history. Don Ward scores both of those goals in the win. And in 2023, the 2024 signing class for Texas Tech softball earns a number 2 national ranking by Extra Innings Softball, clearly the highest in school history. History and entertainment, 1983, Windows 1.0 was introduced by Microsoft. In movies, 1995, Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls. Don't remember anything about that one. I'm sure I laughed a lot. And 2004, Polar Express debuted in theaters. I originally was typing that out and typed out Pineapple Express.
So it's
which is
Polar
completely
Express.
different. Yes, Polar Express.
You don't remember Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls?
No, that's the second one, right?
That could be my most quoted movie of all time.
I probably know a lot of the quotes and think they're from the first one.
Like a glove.
Yeah.
Is that the Miami?
No, that's the
original.
The
one
original.
with the white bat, the
Pet
great white
Detective.
bat.
Yeah. No, I
Chicago.
I probably know all of the quotes from it, but I don't remember it. See, that's all from 2.
Fairly certain, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Bumblebee Tuna might be from the first one. Yeah. Okay.
I believe-
Flowers for me, Mr. Beauregard. I do declare.
Other movies on this day, Babel in 2006. Didn't see it.
No. Is that about the Tower of Babel?
I have no idea. It seems like that was like an Oscar type movie. Maybe not a winner, but Stranger Than Fiction, 2006.
I really like that movie. It's Will Ferrell.
Oh, is that the one where he's...
It's where it gets narrated. He's in the book.
Yes.
Dustin Hoffman and Thompson. What's her name?
Clifford the Big Red Dog, 2021. Paddington 2 in 2017.
I really liked Paddington as well. I didn't ever see the second one.
The Marvels, 2023. Wasn't that absolutely horrible?
Yeah, that was a bad one.
Daddy's Home 2. Can you tell me who's in Daddy's Home 2?
Will Ferrell, Mark Wahlberg, Lithgow, Jonathan Lithgow, and Mel Gibson.
And John Cena.
Oh, I did not know that.
He's in the picture.
More after this. 100.7 The Score.
Playing time is not required. This is the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Lucas, I'd be remiss if we didn't get you a couple of highs and lows here if you wanted them.
Joey got some money. Joey, where you at, baby? Spending that money.
It wouldn't feel right if I didn't bring this up. Wake Forest did beat Virginia. I watched every second of that game, and I mean, when Chandler Morris went down, I was I felt bad. I really did for like a second. And then their backup is pretty solid, I'm not going to lie. But that was also a really kind of slow, kind of 3-and-out punt. But that just kind of opened the gate for Georgia Tech to kind of just take control of the ACC. So it was a good night that Wake Forest did beat Virginia. And then this is kind of interesting. So Compton College, which is a junior college, has a 50-year-old defensive end and linebacker. And then they have a 45-year-old wide receiver, and his son is also on the team. But Compton Community College has forfeited their final 2 games, ending their season at 0-10 with a scoring margin of 480-12.
Oh.
Wow.
But the fact that they have a 50-year-old and a 45-year-old and probably another, I don't know, probably 28, 29-year-old is just for junior college. That's interesting.
Is that the guy that went viral this offseason because he had to get a job in college and then he retired early and wanted to play?
I believe so. There's also the 45-year-old is a former Compton mayor candidate. I guess he ran for mayor at some point, and then he was like, he didn't win, obviously, so he
used to be doing stuff.
He went to go play.
Yeah, why not?
JUCO ball. So.
Should that be the next punishment? You have to walk onto a JUCO football program. By the way, we hadn't talked about the Tiny Bill yet.
Oh, I've got one. Can I get one more high?
Oh yeah.
Quick?
Oh yeah.
While you pull it up. You don't have to play anything. Just a congratulations to Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski. He has been, if anything, consistent throughout his career. Continues to absolutely stink with every quarterback that he has. Way to go. Oh, wait a minute. Except for one.
Except for one. They were such a good fit too. I wonder if he had any kind of say in that.
I think he. You could watch the last few.
Yeah, you really couldn't have a better quarterback for that offense, and they gave him away.
Yeah, or that city for that matter. But whatever.
The tiny wheel update you've all been waiting for. We all hit Texas Tech. I had the closest score, so I have the tiebreaker, and it potentially is much needed. We all hit A&M. I had a heartbreaker of a island with Iowa. I took Iowa and everyone else took Oregon, and I thought I had it. I really did.
Yeah.
I thought I had it. And they got just far enough to kick that field goal at the end of the game.
Yeah, we're even, though, because I think we all thought we had Jacksonville for the longest time.
Certainly, we all thought we had Virginia as well. Wake Forest pops that one off. Lucas and his hate pays off. We all hit Houston. Pepsi Man and David Collier.
Oh, is that who the caller was?
We had Pepsi Man.
Okay.
Hit Tulane. The rest of us took Memphis. Everybody took La Tech over Delaware. Everybody took Florida Atlantic over Tulsa, and that was correct.
Yes.
Pepsi Man took Iowa State, and we all ridiculed him after he hung up.
I did not, Pepsi Man. I did not ridicule you at all. That was not me.
We didn't really ridicule him.
Okay.
But I did in my head. I was like, what a bag. A bag. No way Iowa State can do anything against TCU. The TCU is going to throw for 1,000 yards on them. No. That did not happen. And
Shout out to Lucas for telling me that Davis Mills was starting and changing my pick. No, I appreciate it, because had I thought that Davis Mills was starting, I certainly would have taken Jacksonville. I just wish you wouldn't have said anything now.
And for the second time in 3 weeks, Texans Island helps. Last week it hurt, but we're back. As the Texans come back from 19 down in the fourth quarter to win by 7 over the Jaguars. As it stands right now, I don't know how I keep doing this, but I can't do simple math, I guess. We've been doing 10 games and the Tech game, but I've been making the Tech game the tiebreaker.
Mm-hmm.
We just did 11 this week, I guess, for fun. Currently, Collier sitting with 4 losses. Craig with 5 losses. Pepsi Man has won the weekend with 3 losses. Even if he loses tonight, Lucas will also lose. So he will stay ahead of him. But Lucas has 4, and I have 5. If the Packers win tonight, Craig Wells will debut on the little wheel.
Oh, he said he would do it?
He's doing it.
Oh, wow. Thank goodness, because had he not, I was in trouble.
If the Eagles win tonight, even with the tiebreaker, I will be spinning the tiny wheel.
So I'm free and clear?
So it's down between me and Craig, yep.
Oh, my goodness. That's
You're free
the
and
best
clear.
news of the day. Another high.
And you would have had the tiebreaker if it did come down to you and Craig. You were the second closest there.
Yeah, see, I didn't even put Craig in the equation, so
It took a little convincing.
Well, I mean, you got him to do a phenomenal acting job in your Red Raider Recon, so what's any different, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe that's his punishment, having to be part of that.
That was well. We did say that he'd have to star in a couple more videos, or we could make him the star of one. Just base it all around Craig.
I'd sign me up for that.
He should have to write and direct one.
That might be a little much. That might be a little much. We don't want to take away the writing from Clint Scott and Rob Breaux.
Well, Clint wrote that one. That was all Clint. He did make me look a little bad because I was trying to punch at the chips, and he was making me swat at him.
Did that ever make it on the air?
I only ever saw that on social media.
Okay.
That is a high.
Yeah.
A sign about the Cougars scoring. We'll talk about some of the good signs at some point today. I do want to get back into the game a bit. There was some texts about it. We'll get to those on the other side. 100.7 The Score.
Playing time is not required. This is the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Let's go to the power rankings. The Big 12 power rankings. We do this every Monday. And I think, personally, the picture is becoming very clear. I probably moved the least amount of teams I've moved all year. I'm very confident in the bottom 4. I'm very confident in the top 8. I don't know, regardless of results, if I'll do much more movement. Maybe if Cincinnati beats BYU. Maybe. TCU still has some opportunities to do a little movement, but I'm fairly confident with my 16, 3 weeks left in the season. But David Collier, I would like you to go first.
I was about to say I went first last week, but I will go first here. Yeah, I don't think it's going to change much at all. Like, I flip-flopped a couple at the bottom just because UCF played what might have been their Space City Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. And we can get into that, obviously, going into the week. So I had them move up a spot. 16, Oklahoma State. 15, Colorado. You like Colorado a lot more than you should. 14, West Virginia. 13, UCF. Yes, you love them. 12, just let me go through my list. Stop cutting me off.
You brought me into it.
Number 12 is the Baylor Bears. 11 probably should be TCU, should be a lot lower. Iowa State at 10, and I put them down probably. Look, all of these teams at this point are, it doesn't really matter, right? They're all not good. Iowa State should not have won that game.
No.
I don't understand. 9, Kansas. 8, Arizona. 7, Kansas State. Houston at 6. Arizona State at 5. Cincinnati at 4. And this is where the problem of my previous picks comes in, because if I had not been so staunch that BYU had to be up there because they had been undefeated, then I would probably drop BYU to 3 at this point. But since I've lived off of the conference standings with them more than anybody else, I will have Utah at 3, BYU at 2, and Texas Tech at so far ahead 1 that it's not even close. My argument to flip-flop those two is and I mentioned it earlier, if I thought one of the two would give a better game to Texas Tech in the Big 12 championship game, it would be my original pick for Big 12 championship game matchup of Texas Tech and Utah. I think Utah would give them a better game the second time around.
Yeah.
I think we would have the same exact outcome. Kalani Sitake can talk about muffed punts and fumbles and whatnot. It's going to be the same outcome.
It's not a matchup power ranker.
Yeah.
Which, fine, it's about season results, and I agree with you. By the way, Colorado also at 15 in mine, so I don't know what you're talking about. Oklahoma State
mine
16.
As well.
They have not been at 15 in years for a long time, though.
The last couple weeks, yeah. But I've finally moved up West Virginia and UCF ahead of them like 3 weeks ago.
Sorry, I stopped paying attention.
I tell you them every week, Collier. Colorado 15, West Virginia 14, UCF 13, Baylor 12, Kansas 11, Leipold, by the way, has hit his ceiling and will be lucky to win 7 games. And I don't know how he was ever considered a good coach. His game management is poor. Really bad. And it seems to bite them time and time and time again. TCU 10. Iowa State 9. somehow. Kansas State 8, Arizona 7, Arizona State 6. That's going to be a very intriguing game to finish the season. The Territorial Cup.
Mm-hmm.
Houston 5, Cincinnati 4, BYU 3. I said it at the time. If you played that game in Utah, that game is 14 points, Utah's favor. I think if you played at neutral site, Utah would win. I think if you played at BYU 10 more times, it might be 5-5, but the other two locations, I think Utah's winning 15 of them out of 20.
Yeah.
So I'm putting Utah 2, and then Texas Tech back in their rightful place. They should have probably been one the whole time.
Yes.
But BYU was undefeated. We gave them the respect. They're back at 3. And I'm very intrigued for BYU Cincinnati. If I'm just watching one team the rest of the year out of the Big 12, Utah has a really interesting, Kansas State, Baylor trio. BYU has a really interesting trio down the stretch as well. So very intrigued on how this league finishes out, but I don't think my power rankings are going to change much across the last couple of weeks.
Well, barring disasters.
Barring injuries, disasters, that kind of stuff, yeah. Lucas?
Breezing through my list, starting at 16, I have Oklahoma State, then Colorado, UCF, West Virginia, Kansas State, Kansas, and Baylor. So that's 16 to 10. And then 9 all the way down to 1. I've got TCU, Iowa State, Arizona, Houston. That's my 9 through 6. And then 5 through 1, Arizona State, Utah, Cincinnati, BYU, and Tech.
Cincinnati, huh? You had Cincinnati too?
3.
3, okay. Yeah, I mean, it just, I don't think it really matters. It's one and a bunch of other teams, 3 teams fighting to play Texas Tech. And somebody on the Yates Flooring Center chat line earlier had mentioned if Tech makes it to the championship game and loses, they're still in the playoff. And I think if they win these next 2, absolutely. I think what happened this past weekend in town with the amount of exposure and good exposure and stories about the university and everything involved with Texas Tech, they would have to get absolutely steamrolled in the Big 12 championship game to be left out. On no planet is that happening.
It's interesting. In some ways, just looking at the playoff rankings, in some ways you want Georgia and Texas A&M to beat Texas by 40, just to get them out of the picture.
Yeah.
But in other ways, you kind of want them to beat Georgia and Texas A&M, because if you take care of business and win the Big 12, and Texas does that to Georgia and A&M, you could pass both of them.
Yeah.
I mean, in that scenario, if you beat UCF and West Virginia by 30, which you absolutely can, you're favored by 24, you'll be favored by at least that many in Morgantown. If you do that and win a Big 12 championship by 20, and Texas has beaten Georgia to give them another loss and A&M to give them a loss,
you just got Ole Miss to jump over there. And I can't wait for everybody to cheer for Oklahoma this Saturday so Alabama can drop down as well.
Boomer Sooner, baby.
Playing time is not required. This is the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back, 100.7 The Score. It's the End of the Bench. Time for Ask the Benchwarmers. Get your questions in on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Like South Texas Ambassador Preston, Rob Collier, do you think we will see a switch in mentality from Mac Leftwich with Barron's health in mind to a more run-first team, bump those combined carries to like 40, 50 times a game, and maybe let Barron air it out 20 or so times a game? Frankly, I'm surprised that's not already the option. I thought it was going to be the option when Will Hammond took over, that you're just going to be a running offense. But in the Arizona State game, it was, Will Hammond running the ball and not your running backs. I think if this coaching staff could get a game back, obviously the one they lost would be the one. But even just like how that game went down, it's the only one you're looking at and being like, yeah, I really want that one back.
Yeah.
Yeah, should. Or 100% should.
Yeah, if you're able to move the football any at this point, I don't understand why you wouldn't run the ball more, just for the fact that nobody's going to score 21 points against you, especially if you're eating the clock, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you can be effective enough to run the play clock down and still get first downs, I would do that to this point and just see what happens.
Yeah.
And test it out the next 2 weeks. Or the next 2 games.
I think you could beat, in all seriousness, I think you could beat UCF without passing the ball once. I think you could go full Army.
I mean, I know it's weird to try these things out, but why not against?
And you call it airing it out. I wouldn't have a pass play over 10 yards with Baron Morton. I wouldn't have any 5 to 7 step drops. I want a 3-step drop, first read, second read maybe, and then have a back floating around to catch the ball. But I'm not looking for any complicated routes down the field in the next 2 games. Maybe some 4 verts that if it's open. If not, throw it away.
Yeah. I don't think you need any.
Barron should not get touched in the next 2 games. By the way, the offensive line, with how many sacks you gave up, was pretty damn good this weekend. Most of the sacks were on Barron.
I was about to say, yeah. You mentioned it, that he had plenty of time.
Yeah. That first one was that first offensive drive where you force a punt, a shank, and then it's a pre-snap penalty to start the game.
Yes.
And then you give up that sack, and it's like, okay.
There was something, I don't remember when it was. They were going towards the south end zone. I think it was later in the game. And the crowd got really loud, and Barron was telling him to shut up. And then he looked to the sideline, and they checked to something else. And I was like, this is going to, and I think it was Howard Sampson. I was like, this is going to be a false start.
Yeah.
They waited until the very end of the play clock. I'm like, and maybe that's why they don't wait till the end of the play clock. But the one way you've resolved that is just huddle.
We've got some breaking news as well. Brian Dable fired. I don't know, 2 years too late. I always liked Dable, and currently the situation's not on him at all. I think the GM should be fired. But
yeah, the GM, and he would be the next.
Yeah,
you can't let him hire. You got to get rid of him.
No, yeah. Somebody's going to take over a pretty good young core. Of course, it's all injured right now, and you hope they come back healthy. But I guess it's not all injured, but
I mean,
or my computer died. Can you read some more Yates Flooring Centers?
Oh yeah. Let's burning or Benchwarmers. Thanks to this past weekend, how many recruits commits flipped to Texas Tech?
I'm intrigued.
Or commit or flip to Texas Tech.
I'm intrigued with how many spots you have left. You're going to the portal again.
Yeah.
And, last year I thought there was a lot of churn just based on guys who either didn't pan out or weren't going to start or play. But I think the roster's at a higher level this year. Now, there's a lot of seniors and otherwise that are going to leave and haven't contributed on the field on Saturdays, certainly to the program.
But you're going to replace those with portal guys, right?
Well, but those guys I think you're replacing with freshmen.
Yeah.
Now, the guys on the field, like David Bailey's probably 1 in, 1 out with another transfer. But I don't want to, Chief Collins.
Yeah.
You could replace him with a freshman and get the same impact in practice and whatever else. And those guys are very valuable to a team.
Yes.
But that's the kind of guy. So I guess just math-wise, because you have, 18, 19 in the class right now? Are you going to get 25 freshmen? Because you're going to take some more 4-stars if they're committing, right?
I guess.
Or is your class 1 and 1 out because you had the 3-star linebacker decommit last week?
Yeah.
Do you see some 1 in 1 out type stuff? Because I also don't think you're going to get 20 more transfers.
No, I wouldn't think you would go that route. And depending on how many of these people leave, if they're available, that changes the math for you. Benchwarmers, how do the Cowboys tie the Green Bay Packers and then lose to the Cardinals?
The NFL is so stupid.
Yeah, that's the answer. Benchwarmers.
The Dolphins just beat the Bills.
Yeah.
And, dominated.
Yeah, it was 13-0, and there was a lot of weird fumbles there, or weird turnovers. If Texas and Oklahoma are in the current Big 12 with their current rosters, where do they rank? Would Tech still be in contention for the Big 12 championship? I think Tech would be in the Big 12 championship, and they would be playing one of those two for the title.
Yeah. I think the top 4 would be, in some order, Texas Tech, Oklahoma, Texas, Utah.
And
I think those two teams would beat BYU about like you did.
Yes. I think they would. I think that's, if Oklahoma's offense is just atrocious. And I think if Texas Tech played them, they would destroy John Mateer. But I do think that Baron Morton would probably turn the ball over.
And I think OU is better this year than last year.
Yes,
defensively
significantly.
Too.
Oh, significally better on both sides of the ball.
But so is Houston. And Houston nearly beat OU last year.
Yeah. Well, last year, Oklahoma this offense that Oklahoma has this year is light years better than whatever they did on the football field a year ago. It's not even close. And it's still bad.
I mean, you're looking around at Texas and who they've played and struggled with.
Yeah.
Are you saying Vanderbilt would come in and be the best team in the Big 12? I think they have a really dynamic quarterback, but I think they'd be about where they are now in the Big 12.
Yeah, I think they would probably be top 5.
Yeah. Agreed.
Let's see. Does it surprise you guys that Brian Daboll, we just talked about that a little bit?
No.
Yeah, he should have been fired a while.
Surprised me that he's the first one this season.
Yeah, I just thought he'd been a lame duck coach for a while.
But
it was the GM and the owner that forced him to start Dangerous Wilson for 2-3 weeks. So he wanted Jackson Dart to start in the beginning, allegedly. If I was Brian Daboll, I would have left 2 years ago.
Yeah, probably would have been a good idea.
But you're not turning down a head coaching job, I guess.
You can't leave head coaching jobs unless
you have one lined up. Yeah.
Why are y'all giving Texas credit? They wouldn't beat BYU like that. They keep sneaking out, barely beating teams like Kentucky and Mississippi State.
Yeah,
because their defense is good.
To be fair, I said about like you did.
Yeah.
And you beat them 29-7. You should have beat them 56-7.
Yeah.
I think Texas could beat BYU 28-17.
I think Texas has people on defense that would have gotten to Baron Morton a lot faster than BYU did. I don't know that their offense would have done anything, but...
Yeah, that's my concern, is that if you get into the playoff, people are just bringing 6 on Baron Morton the whole time.
Yeah.
And just daring him to
beat
make
you
a
that
play.
Way. Yep.
That's what I would do. And he might.
Yeah, I'm not saying he won't.
You just have to try, though. More after this. From the bottom line on the other side.
This has been the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score. Go to 107thescore.com for more from the Double T Sports Network.